And welcome again to Borkum on an island in the North Sea. And welcome once again to Flightsim481, Rich's Speed Landing Challenge. 5 airports in as little time as possible, 1,500 feet maximum piston single, no landing off the runway, no taxiing off the runway, full stop landings, half pattern landings, no touch and goes. Down there is the same aircraft that young Rich used, that he did, as he said, not good piloting, but instead the senseless thraping of an aircraft. Well, I looked it up here, and the verb to thrape is to drive your vehicle, car or motorbike, very hard, very fast, having loads of fun doing it. As in, oh, I thraped the bollocks off it up the motorway. Of course, that would be in Australia. I don't think I can do it in a northern accent like Rich can, but the senseless thraping of the bollocks on the motorway. Anyway, that would be contributed by Hamish C., no doubt, and Hamish is probably a little farther north than Rich is. But at any rate, we are going to commence the thraping in the same aircraft he used. However, we are going to do it with a twist that you shall see in a moment. This is the version 2 of the Lancair Legacy. These are two GTN 750 Garmin navigators, which for some reason I've been unable to get to work in the aircraft. But we're going to put on the parking brake. We're going to check our props and our mixture. We're going to turn on our fuel pump and turn off our avionics. And we're going to start this bad boy up. And wouldn't you know it, she starts up like a charm. All right, we'll just bring the RPM down a little bit. And we will also bring the mixture back just a little bit to ground lean, just so we don't foul the plugs. And we'll turn on our avionics. I have not been able to get these to work, and I'm not sure why, but I'm sure it's something pretty simple and pretty stupid. I've got the grass tires on it, so that should help. Just trimming a little bit nose up here. Check our rudder trim. Make sure we're not abnormal. Okay, that is normal. We will put one notch of flaps out, like so. Probably don't need it, but words of Kinky Friedman, why the hell not? And our first turn is going to be to about 080, and we're going to go to the third island in the chain. And then we are going to loop around in the opposite direction and land as quickly as we possibly can. Now, I have not yet practiced this. Yes, I am sober, despite the fact that I can't quite speak English as a first language yet. Let me just make sure our canopy is closed and locked, and it is. And make sure everything else is kosher. Our T's and P's are fine. We don't have a ton of fuel, but then again, we don't need it. We don't need oxygen. I've got my autopilot set for 1,100 feet. We are not going to use it, but I might try an interesting experiment. We'll see. And in the meantime, our heats are on. Just check and see if our speed brakes work. They do. All right, this is a magnificent airplane, you should know. All right, so Off can come the parking brakes. In can come the power. We'll hit start on our stopwatch or stop on our start watch. And we'll just lift the nose off early because this is a soft field takeoff. And then we'll keep the nose down and build speed in the ground effect, like so. Bring up the gear. Bring up the flaps. And turn almost immediately to our first heading. And we're at 400 feet. And we're going to make for that Long Island right there. But this being an aerobatic airplane, here is the twist. The twist is we're going to do it all inverted. All right, so we're making for that island right there. So we will come around in that general direction as soon as I get my bearings. There we go, and head for the airport, which is right about on our nose now. And just trim ourselves out. And remember, we have to kind of do everything in reverse here. So I'm going to turn this way and pull that way. No. I'm going to turn this way and push that way. There we go. And we're going to come up on our first airport in 1 second. Alright, there's the little twinkle there in the background, or the foreground. You can see right there on our nose try to stay coordinated here. Now, here's where the scenery starts to load. Now, ordinarily at this point, let me just pull out a little bit of power. We would, if we were doing this really stylishly, we would come past the airport and go into a split S and come out of it that way. I don't think we're going to be able to do that, but maybe we will. Let's see if we can do it. We're at 1,000 feet. Let's get ourselves a little lower and see if we can get ourselves over the numbers. I don't think we have enough altitude to pull out of a split S. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll level. There's our airfield. And I'll start to slow. Okay. Come about out to that sandy spit of land. That, at our 11 o'clock, is our next airfield. Come around. Start to bring out the flaps. Bring down the gear. Check for our field. There's our field. Okay, we're on a nice 45 degrees. Throw in the spoilers. Take out the spoilers. Bring in a little power. And set her down. I'm going to land a little long here because I want to roll to the end. Do a full stop. Okay, there's the stop. Let's see if we can maneuver our way around here. And round we come. Okay, set our flaps. Line ourselves up. And let her rip. Up we go, gear up. Flaps up. Okay. Line up with our next field. And keep an eye on it and roll inverted. Okay, there we go. Trim up a little bit. Come off the power just a touch. Come around a little bit this way. Now, I don't have the altitude to do a split S. I would dearly love to. That would be so much fun. Instead, we're going to cheat around this side right here. That's about right. Get ourselves set up for a left downwind again. We're at 800 feet. .600 feet. Start to ease off the power. Wait till we're abeam the numbers, then we'll roll out. Come down a little bit. The problem is the trim, of course, because what's good trim for inverted is not good trim for upright. So we'll sort of split the difference. Okay, we'll roll out here. And there's the field. We'll aim for this yellow field of flowers here as we lose a little speed. I think that warning is low fuel. I hope not. In comes the gear. In comes the flaps. Oh, we're high. Oh, Mother McCree. Okay. Do a little slip. In come the spoilers. And out come the spoilers. Down comes the rest of the flaps. And we're going to land long, but that's okay. Level ourselves out. There we go. That was a little bit of a bang, wasn't it, kids? All right, we'll roll out to the end here. Bring up our flaps. Check our spoilers, they're good. Get on the brakes. Come to a full stop in 1 second. Right there. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on around. All right. Hop on the brakes briefly. Check our trim, which is way too nose low because we've been inverted, and go. Now this next one is a bitch. It's a very short runway. Up we come. Up comes the gear. See if we remember where we're going. I honestly don't. This is the oh, there it is. Okay. This is the one that is quite a short distance away. Trim ourselves level here. Head towards the island. Okay, there's our next field. See that little sparkle right there off the nose? And we're a little bit high. Now this one is less than 1,100 feet long, or right thereabouts. So this one is going to cause us trouble. I have to say Rich chose an absolutely perfect airplane for this challenge. Immensely wonderful. And aerobatic, too. All right, so there's our field. There we are, beam the numbers. And I'm going to be a little bit tender with this one because it is trouble. Just trim up a little bit here. There we go. Down comes the gear. And there's the strip, and look at how short that is. We are not breaking a record here today, but we're going to still do okay. It's going to be full flaps. I'm just going to baby this little thing in. Not sure why the trim isn't moving, but... And I don't want to fall out of the sky here, but we do want to be nice and slow. All right, there we go, over the numbers. Look at how short that is. Heavens to Murgatroyd, look at that. All right, so, yes, okay, just barely. 1, 2, 3. I think, you know what? So as not to touch the grass, we're going to have to use the taxiway here. All right, that's going to slow us down, but rules is the rules. There's a nice guy to Cirrus. He doesn't need to do anything careful to land. He just needs to pull the chute. All right, let's try to avoid him. Damn it. Okay, around we come on the old paving stones here. We're actually going to take off with a certain amount of flaps on this one. All right, back we go to our final airfield. I love this plane. My God, it's wonderful. We're going to use up every little bit of runway here. Everything we possibly can. In other words, we're going to senselessly thrape this airplane. All right, let's do... How much flaps do we have? That'll be fine. I know there's drag, but on the other hand, I really want the lift. So, run 'em up, Buttercup. There we go. Just want to make sure my speed brakes weren't out. Come on. Oh, no, didn't do it. Did not do it. Too much fuel. Not enough flaps. All right, so technical failure, but let's press on, shall we? Up comes the gear. All right, up come the flaps. And let us briefly pick up a little speed. And let's get our sweet selves inverted again. And retrimmed. All right, we're heading for that little crook of land right there for our final airport. 400 feet. Let's climb up just a little bit so we can see what we're doing. That is our final airstrip right there. Let us come a little bit to the other side of it, to the right of it, I guess you'd say. Widen out our downwind a little bit. And roll upright. And we'll come along the beach line there and come on back. And call it a good day's work. And we're almost out of fuel, so it's probably a good thing too. Okay, there's the field. I'm probably going to tear the flaps off this time. Yeah, you hear that buffet? All right, we carried that a little bit far out, but that's okay. This time around, better safe than sorry. Did I mention I love this airplane? Wow. Now, we've got a little bit of treeage to contend with, but it's no big deal. So, let's get in a little more power there. See if we can grease this last one on. Probably not, especially since I'm a little low. There we go. And 1, 2, and finally done. Let's just stop our watch here. If I can get my iPhone to open up. Okay, 20:10, 20 minutes and 10 seconds. Not too shabby, considering the little twist we had and the little taxi excursion we had to take. We, of course, failed because we overran the end of the runway, but then again, we had our grass tires on, so come on, that's what they were meant for. They were just asking for a little bit of turf in their life. We should have been flying this in Ireland. Anyway, that is that, and thanks for watching. And this was tremendous fun, and see you again real soon.